Now then, welcome to episode 13 of Now That's Midschool with me, Matt Barton. In this episode, I travelled to the small town of Droitwich, a few miles south of Birmingham here in the UK, to meet Jason Priest, or Jay as he prefers to be known. Jay is not one to back down from a challenge, and he's had a few of those over the years, overcoming addiction, setting up a business, having some early collection pieces stolen, and more recently, having his leg crushed by a van he was working on. Jay has been busy playing catch-up in the collecting game, and in a relatively short space of time, he's amassed quite a collection of heavyweights, and I do mean heavyweights. There's some serious tanks in this collection, as I discovered when we decided to haul them outdoors for better lighting and space. With a supportive family though, he's back on top. So enough of me waffling on, let's get to the good stuff. Welcome to episode 13, how are we at now?
13.
Now that Midschool, we're in sunny Droitwich, possibly the nicest day of the year so far. And we're here to meet Jason Priest, or JZ Priest, as you might know him on various social media forums, and his collection. So, Jason, yeah, you've been very busy over the last year or two.
Yeah.
Because it is only the last year or two that you've certainly been on Facebook and
couple of years,
Instagram. So when did the collecting really get going for you?
So I got given a mongoose expert, around about 2000 expert, for my son by a guy I went to school with, and it sort of grew on from that. We built that,
As
and
it
it's
does.
like, oh, maybe I'd like one.
Yeah.
So I started hunting for a condor, which isn't here, unfortunately, which we'll get onto, I'm sure. But yeah, it started with a condor, and then the Big Daddy, which also isn't here, and then it sort of spiraled on from there. The pork came, and the EP came, which my son rides, and yeah, I bought a job lot. First of all, I bought a job lot, which the Eastern came in,
Right.
The Hercules, the Schwinn came in that, and loads of bits from a guy down in Essex way, and got home. So I put that straight together, the Eastern, and then it was Summer Jam last year. Picked up a few more bits and pieces there. Met with Nick Bevan, the infamous. Nick.
Yeah.
And this is what's in board.
Yeah, definitely bitten the bug. We've just wheeled these out of the house, and honest to goodness, I said to Jason, I said, I'm probably going to be leaving here with a hernia. These are all tanks. There isn't really a light one amongst them. Maybe the Taj, possibly the lightest.
Maybe the Taj, yeah. The Schwinn.
that
the wife uses.
Yeah, absolute proper Midschool tanks. So let's start with the Schwinn. Tell us about the Schwinn. That came as part of the job lot?
Yeah, come as part of the job lot. I think it's about a 98, 99. It's currently got a pink chain on it. It's the only chain we had. So, but I basically built it out of the bits in the job lot. They're the original tyres.
Yeah.
I do have the original wheels, but I haven't built them up.
Yeah. Scramblers.
The cranks are original, and the chain wheel, which is quite rusty. So we're going to do something about that, I think, because the wife really does like riding. It's a nice bike to ride.
Yeah.
It's really light, and it's good fun. So she rides around on that now. It is what it is.
I'll tell you what. I mean, it's in bloody good condition.
It is.
Yeah. How much have you done to that?
Not literally just cleaned it down.
Right.
The forks want to come off. They want to go in an acid bath and just get the last bits of
chrome. You can just see a little bit of rust coming through.
It wants a chain. I've got a DK Iron Cross chain wheel. I might just stick on it just to tidy it up.
Yeah.
But it's still got the XS one-piece cranks on it. I do have every piece to put it back to original, pretty much.
Really?
I think.
Right.
Bar maybe the saddle and the grips, but the rest of it I've got in bits. So yeah,
I've got an XS Hooker tyre. Similar to the sort of Odyssey Path and V Monster, if you'd be interested in that.
No, it's a cool bike. It's nice. So we just put it together with the bits from the job lot, really. And
Foster Superstock.
the Hercules, that again, the only bit I've had to buy for that was the front wheel, which I bought off John Tack.
G Sport.
Yeah, G Sport. On a big city, I think I paid 50 quid for it or something. No, I did. I'd done a swap. So in the job lot also came 2 McNeil frames, a Reuben, and a Heaton. And I sold the Reuben to Ben Wigley, and had basically the money I got with that. I bought that front wheel. That wheel, where did that come from? Oh, I got that off eBay actually, and the rim has got to go to Harry Hill. I've got to take the rim off. I've got a black hazard light, so I'm going to put on just to make it match a little bit more, rather than the one chrome wheel. But Harry was after a set of 7X. It's not in bad condition. There's a little dent here and there.
For a 7X, that's in good condition.
It's not too bad. But
by this time, the chrome's usually well and truly shot on them. But I think that'll polish up quite nicely.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad rim. But everything else came in the job lot. Absolutely everything else, except the green splitter, which came with the brake from my Condor, which the one that ain't here. So KHE, Dirty Harry bars, Odyssey, Matt Behringer grips, Odyssey tyres, I think, on that one.
I didn't realise Matt Behringer had signature grips.
Mongoose pedals that come off the Expert, Primo XL cranks.
Profile blackjack.
Very nice condition. That came in the job lot.
What is it that sort of that guides your builds?
I love the big fat stuff. Right. When I was a street rider in Droitwich, we had the precinct was like almost concrete bowls, and it had like a half pipe, but it was very, very steep, and some loads of quarter pipes. And I used to break everything because I was quite rough. So started originally with a blue Universal that got stolen. Then my dad and my Uncle Pete bought me a Piranha with metal mags, and they sprayed it black and fluorescent pink with the BTS. So that was so heavy. Trying as a 7 or 8 year old kid to bunny off something with metal mag wheels was hard going. So then I started getting into the more serious stuff. I bought a brand new GT Performer on my 13th birthday, I think. So 95, 96. It was £250.
Sounds about right.
Exactly on the nose. I went in the shop with my cash and I bartered him down for a £5, which I then bought a McDonald's Mega Mac meal. And I waited in the queue for so long, they gave it me for free. So I come home with a £5 out of that deal.
Nice one, good stuff.
So we went from the GT Performer to a Ruption.
Which Ruption was it?
SRI. And then things started getting a bit more serious. A mate of mine had a Bully. I think it was about 95 piston. And he chopped off the back seat stays and welded on some big fat seat stays. And I had this Bully, this Frankenstein Bully, for ages, and it was one of the best bikes I ever had. It was sprayed metallic purple, and I love that bike. And it's a bike I wish I'd, you wish you never got rid of. It was a great bike. Nothing ever happened to it, never broke. And then, like round here, it was all concrete, so everything was getting a good hammering. And so I went from there onto a 95 Condor that I had off Ian Harrison, Eggy, in Worcester. He was big into his Condors, and he was like the one everyone aspired to, because he could do stuff on vert.
he could ride.
Yeah. There was a vert ramp in the youth centre that he ran in Worcester.
Right.
There was a half pipe and a tabletop, rolling off the half pipe for the tabletop, and Eggy was good, and he always had condors. And a mate of mine from the other side of Worcester bought off him a 93 black condor. I'm sure it's a 93, and it had the head tube had snapped and it had got a gusset welded here.
Yes.
And it was in like a beigey colour, I think, if I remember rightly. Fell in love with the bike, loved it. So I managed to buy a 95 ramp room off of Eggy in black, and I rode that for a couple of years. Bought a set of Taj forks. Then magazines came out, and advertised the new Taj and the soon to be Jay Miron signature bike.
Yes.
So absolutely fell in love with those two bikes. Obviously the Punisher didn't get released, but the Taj did. So as soon as that came out, I wanted the Taj. So I bought Chrome Taj from King's Heath bike shop in King's Heath. Went over there. I think I got it quite reasonable because it had got a scratch on I think on a fork leg sticker or something like that. And then it was quite well reduced. I know I paid under 300 quid for it.
Bloody hell.
And I hated it. I absolutely hated it. It's a horrible bike. I had a big fat chain on it, and of course the chain started to wear away
through the seat stay.
Hated the bike. Massive mistake.
Didn't get on with it.
Hated it. I think I swapped it back for the Condor. I'm sure I ended up with a Condor again for a little while, and then I got a job and I had money. So I went and bought brand spanking new DK Saab Gen 2.
From the same bike shop?
No, from DAI in Merry Hill.
Die Leisure?
Yeah.
That was the place. Everything good came from there around these parts. So I bought the bike in parts, frame and fork, red. I had a set of G-Sport bars on it. It had the UFO on it.
Oh, right,
in blue. Brand new blue G-Sport homers. I just started doing them in blue. Lace 2 Primo hula hoops. 3-piece crank when they were coming more affordable for the normal kind of rider.
Yeah.
And again, it was a lump. It was a lump of a bike. But then things started to go bad in my life for me.
Right, yeah.
I ended up getting rid of the bike, and that was that for a bit.
I was going to say, you kind of stopped riding for a few years.
Yeah, for many years. And then,
I
mean, we got six children, 5 sons.
What
the first 3 sons, no interest in bikes or it's computers. Anyway, me and my wife, the first 4 we've had with other people, and we had 2 together. The first one we called Jason.
Why not?
And ironically, he is the one most like me. So we got him this bike, and he loves it. So I got Condor, started building the bikes, and that's what come of it.
So always sort of street oriented.
Yeah, all
with
big,
your builds,
big heavy builds, heavy bikes. So they're all pretty weighty, and they're all sort of built around that sort of theory, really.
Well, as we were bringing them out, I mean, we'll get around to that. EP surprised me. I was not expecting that to be as heavy as it is.
He's 8, Jason. He was dropping that in off the pegs at the. We went on a ride out to Cardiff 2 or 3 weekends ago.
Yeah.
Went to the skate park, and it's the first time he'd been to a decent level of skate park. And he was on his pegs dropping in on it, and it's a weighty bike for a young kid. It's a bit like me with my Pirani.
How old is he?
He's 8.
8, so he's still very young, isn't he?
So everyone says, "Oh, you should get him a new bike. They're much better, much lighter." But he doesn't want a new bike. He wants to ride one like dad's bikes.
So, yeah, the kids got taste, you know. Mid-school, like, you know, you could go out, buy him a new bike, and it's not going to look any different to every other kid's bike.
That's exactly right. He goes out on a bike and it looks.
Wow, what's that, mate? What's that?
That's right. Oh, yeah, he gets people stopping him in town and he'll tell them it's 27 years old. And
that's amazing. Absolutely
he'll tell them the history and how we built it and what parts we've got from where. And
is it a bit of an accident that you've got a few flatland orientated bikes?
I always liked the flatland bikes.
Right.
They were always the nicest looking of the bikes, in my opinion. And yeah, I've basically bought the bikes that I would have liked
yourself
had I'd have had. I mean, a couple I've got by accident, but you know, it is a bike.
Hey, listen, don't talk to me about happy accidents. You know, my frame collection has grown so much, and a lot of them are happy accidents. You know what I mean? I did not intend for things to get quite as out of hand as they have.
No. But no, that's right. I mean,
it does, doesn't it?
They've took over the house or what? The missus gives me a bit of earache when there's no more bikes and
they normally reside in the front room. So Jason's wife is obviously a very, very understanding woman.
Very understanding woman.
So much so that the Taj is your wife's design, is it?
No, that is her bike.
That's her bike.
Yeah,
that's the one she rolls around on.
Yeah, she airbrushed it all herself. We painted it pearl white and pearl silver. She made all these stencils on her cry cut.
Yeah.
Airbrushed it and then painted each of those stencils individually with glow in the dark paint.
Really?
So all that glows in the dark. Every bit of this you see glows in the dark. There's glitter in the paint and hologram stickers she's put on. The purple saddle turned up yesterday. I've been after it. It had got it had an Evil Knievel saddle on it, which didn't really go.
It's not going to match, is it?
But I'd been waiting for something, and that turned up on eBay, brand new. Not a lot of money. There's an orange one as well. The guy's got. I keep thinking might go on something.
What can I fit that on?
But so. Literally, we put that on yesterday. Wheel set's really nice on this. Profile, SS, Himiko on the back, Ringo on the front. There's going to be people out there that are like, oh my god, that wheel set they would absolutely die for. It's a 6 set,
and your missus is rolling around on it.
Yeah. They are stupid forks, 1-inch stupid forks, Patriot bars. They're only the Taiwan Patriots on this. Odyssey, C-clamp, Black Widow. I want to say they are DMR cranks on this.
They look like either DMR or maybe Fusion.
No, they're DMR on that.
Right.
So yeah, this is her baby. It's a nice bike. It's the brakes on it are only cheapy Reebok KHE ones.
She's not doing any stunts.
Because they're oil slick, just because it goes a bit more with the bike. Really. The stem and the forks came off a guy on eBay, and they were in really, really good shape. They're very nice. Patriots, I think, came.
Was that stem already polished?
Yeah,
like that?
Yeah, it was polished. Right. There was a set of standard strip bars a guy had that Harry had. They're now with my mate Chris on one of his standard builds. But yeah, no, it's I think they're fit pedals or something like that, or fly, I think.
Right, yeah. Some modern plastic pedals.
Yeah, glow in the dark, Hodder, grips.
She's not going to run over on the night, is she?
No, it's a really nice bike, and it rides really nice. It's got the clicky, it's a cassette rear hub.
Cassette?
So, yeah, it's really clicky.
Profiles, well, even the
sounds awesome.
The old ones that had the freewheel,
it sounds awesome. That does.
Noisy.
But yeah, that's the only thing. So I built the original bike I built was a white 2002 Condor. It came silver, had it powder coated white. It got ramp room, love bars on it. It was beautiful. And then I built chrome Big Daddy pink tyres with Taiwan love bars on it.
Yeah.
That had got 14mm free coaster on the back. It got the G Sport Homer on the front. That was on chrome hula hoops.
Yeah.
The missus was moaning about the bikes being in the house, so I went and got a storage unit. Brand new storage place. Been open 7 days old. Been open 7 days. Put my bikes in there. 7 days later, somebody came in, chopped all the locks off every single one.
Every unit.
Took my 2 bikes, a bike I'd picked up for Chris the night before, which was a next gen Holmes.
Oh.
I picked it up for him the day before. Literally, I'd put it in there at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And at 8 o'clock at night, they robbed the place. The unit next door to me, an old couple had, they'd cleared the house out, put everything in there by mistake, put a jewellery box in there, about £50,000 worth of jewellery in there. So those bikes, although I've publicised the life out of them, I'm hoping that people, if the bits start coming up for sale, people are going to know they're my bits, because it's one of my build. You know, you can tell another person's build, can't you? It's
generally speaking,
you can tell it's one of my builds. They, you know, they're same sort of standard, and so that was a bit of a gutter. I'd also, when that happened, I'd ordered this from France, this frame, at the same time, the same
towel.
New old stock, still got the
I can
warranty
see
card
that.
on it. The frame came from France. Now, I sent the guy the money and couldn't get hold of him at all. Nothing. And I start to think, I've been robbed.
I hope you use goods and services.
Oh, of course, yeah. Anyway, he come back to this. We got robbed on the Thursday. I was messaging Thursday, Friday, Saturday, nothing. He come back to me on like the Tuesday and said, "I'm so sorry. He lives in the sticks in France. Our internet's been down."
Right.
I arranged a parcel, FedEx to come and get the parcel. All he had to do was put the sticker on it and send. And a week later, this turned up.
Oh, right. Pleasant surprise then.
So that came, and then the pork came. But yeah, so the stem came with the pork. That's redneck with gyro tabs on it. KHE flat forks, Mutiny black ball.
Black ball.
Yeah, Mutiny on a BFR. The back is Tasker free coaster on a KHE Big O, I think it is. I think it's a Big O. It's definitely KHE rim. KHE flat pedals, Primo cranks. Again, another profile blackjack.
Yeah.
Primo saddle, DMR seat clamp. The
€250 price tag on it.
€250 frame. Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. That's really clean. I had a few chips on it which I've touched up, but that was clean, and I can't bring myself to take the tag off it.
I don't blame you. I do not blame you.
But yeah, I've never actually ridden this bike. These are Dragonfly monster bars that I had off Chris, mate Crispy, which is perhaps another person you might want to talk to at some point.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, no, it's a nice build. It's very short, of course, but I haven't got around to putting any pegs on this yet. The only 10mm pegs I've currently got left are Odyssey Liberties, and they're not really...
What pegs are you fancying for it?
I don't know. Originally, I bought the graveyards to go on that.
Right.
So these are oversized 8-inch rise graveyard OGs.
Yeah.
When I bought them, loads of people were saying, they're fake, they're not graveyard, they're graveyard. I've since found an advert for the 8-inch rise. I believe at Dan's Comp or somewhere like that. And I've seen a couple of other very high-end Morales builds using these bars.
Those welds are way too nice to
well, look, if you see the end cap,
the weld around it.
See how it's machined. They're genuine graveyard OGs. And
the knurling as well.
Yeah,
I've never seen knurling like that.
These
really
came
nice.
like this, and luckily my brother lives in New York, so I found the bars and I was bidding off my own eBay.
Yes.
And they wanted to charge me tax, they wanted to charge me all sorts of things. Sorry, Mr. HMRC.
Yeah.
So I said to my brother, can you bid on these for us? So he said, set me up an eBay account.
Yeah.
So now we just get the stuff sent to his.
Nice one.
And then, so yeah, that they came from there. BTS came from America.
Yeah.
We just got Paul Warren a DK shirt.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Very good.
A race shirt that he'd been after. But yeah, they come like that. Literally polished them. They are
clean.
Clean.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Really nice. So yeah, I bought this off Daniel Pratt, which is a Gen 3 Morales 14mm dropout. It's in very good condition, albeit a little bit dusty because it's been in the front room. It's got
original Fat Jack wheel set.
Yeah, I've got two of those. I've got another set Fat Jack originals on the Sabbath too.
Oh, that's the 4 wheel set. Yep, the same as what I bought back in the day.
Yeah,
I think me and Adrian talked a little bit about Fat Jack.
So yeah, they're both slot. That's slot. Obviously, the axle slotted.
Yeah.
Shimano DX. I ordered special order profile 165mm cranks. They didn't have any left in America. They've only just, I believe, started making them again. So they're 170s. That's a brand new crank set.
Why did you specifically want 165?
Just because of how short the bike is when you try to ride it.
Yeah, feet catch on the pegs.
You're catching on the tyre when you turn. It's so short.
Right.
So I wanted as short a crank as possible. That has a Pegasus graveyard sprocket on it. Those back pegs are forgery, I believe.
Forgery.
Yeah, forgery. Yeah, they are indeed. Those are exposure pegs.
Right.
Tektro brake plate. I haven't got round to putting the front brake on it yet.
Yeah.
Which is a bit bad, albeit it's a flatland bike. But yeah, Tet 77 levers. Yeah, I think that's about. Oh, KHE. That's a KHE flatland saddle. That's a Harrow mountain bike post, which I got very lucky finding.
What size are they? 28 something?
Hang on. No, 31.6.
Yeah.
This is 27. The
on
Fork's
the
27.
pork, yeah.
That's 31.6, same as a BTS. So
Yeah.
they're an absolute bugger to find anything period for. I'm really after a GT zip back post, which I know they did in that size for the BTS. But
GT zip back.
yeah, like the layback, but it's welded. Like the Hoffman.
Yes,
one
I
of the
know
day.
what you want. I know what you mean.
So yeah, core flat forks. In 1-inch DK inverted stem. Got really lucky when I found that.
Yeah,
really lucky. I've got a hollow stem bolt that Harry sent for me. I need to put on.
Where'd the core forks come from?
Came with the frame.
Right.
Yeah, the frame came with the forks. Jay?
Yeah.
Do you want to
Mini J?
Do you want to tell us about your bikes while you're here?
Come on then, what you got?
So see that red EP over there?
The red Hoffman EP, yeah.
Yeah.
That's yours, is it?
I have another one actually. So this is my EP. It was originally my dad's until my dad gave it to me.
You're a lucky lad, I'll say.
What bits have you got on this, Jay?
So I've got some of these pegs. I have some Dave Smiths on the back.
Yeah.
Dave Smith pegs.
Yeah.
Are these also Dave Smith?
No, I don't know what those ones are, Jay. Got low drag 2 bars.
Yes.
Primo tenderizers in blue.
Yeah. 3 slots.
Yeah.
I have a lot of stickers on it.
Yeah. It's
Well,
stickers.
that's how we used to roll. We used to absolutely cover our bikes in stickers back in the day.
Harrow chain wheel. Primo cranks again on that. Just the wheels came with the bike. The original wheels were the Hoffman Girthy and the Tasker Free Coaster with these very crusty, mind the dog fluff,
Dusty.
Hoffman rims.
Oh yeah.
Literally all the chrome had dropped off. So we took the hubs off. I took the hubs off that, laced them to the big city lights for the Big Daddy.
Nice.
So that's got the Tasker 3 coaster in. Yeah.
So the Sabbath, what about the Sabbath? What's the story behind that?
That was part of an eBay lot that Nick got, and came with some red line cranks, a few other bits, and it was very, very clean. Lots of people were bidding for it, and Nick managed to buy it in the middle of the night, or somebody bought it for Nick.
Right.
Because it had some red line 401 cranks with it.
Right, yeah.
Which everybody wanted. So he offered me frame, fork, stem. So yeah, I had that. I bought the wheels for that one. So those wheels came off Paul Shriver. Right. That wheel set came from a guy, I can't remember his name. But he broke a chrome 97 Condor with green stickers, and that wheel set came with it, and I snapped him up for the money he wanted for those.
I'm not going to ask.
They were cheap. What I would consider cheap.
Original
in fact, the hubs
and everything.
The hubs I had on the white Condor that was stolen were Fat Jacks. Yes. I paid more for those hubs than I paid for that whole wheel set.
Bloody hell.
Those tyres came with the pork.
V-Monsters,
came with the pork. Stoogies I bought off Nick. The cranks came with the pork. Don't know what they are. They could be fusion. They look right, I think.
I don't think they're fusion. Fusion normally have like a plastic, not a plastic washer, but it got
I mean it's profile style bolts. It's profile style bolts.
Yeah, very, very similar to profile.
They do look right for the bike, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was looking around to buy cranks, and I happened to go in my bag of bits, and they fell out, and I thought, brilliant, they're kind of Sabbath. Mr. Drama Boy.
All right.
No, who did I buy the saddle off? Was it Drama Boy? Oh, he had one. I bought quite a few bits and pieces off Drama Boy off eBay.
Yeah.
I think the saddle might have come from him. S&M saddle, exposure, chain wheel.
KMC 415 fat chain.
Yeah, fat chain on it. So it's a nice bike. That is my favourite bike to ride. It is clean enough.
Yeah.
But it has a few little scratches, so you don't mind if it gets a bit knocked about. But I mean, it's clean. It does have a few little chips and a few scratches, but no, it's a nice bike. Really enjoy riding that. It's the love bars I actually didn't buy for this. I can't remember what I bought them for, and I happened to stick them on this, and the bike just felt awesome.
Right.
So they've stayed. And it's a really, really nice bike to ride. In fact, if I was going to ride in anger, that would be the one. That would be the one. I mean, it weighs a ton.
Yeah, well, they do, don't they? Yeah,
but like, if I could have had a bike in a day, that would have been it, I think.
Yeah.
For riding that, and the pork are really nice riders. The pork came from Leroy Parlatini. It was originally, some guy had it, terrible photos on Facebook, and he also had blue Evel Knievel Wembley.
Right.
And it hadn't got the wheels on it, it was just hanging up as a frame, and I missed it. It was going for quite a few quid, and Leroy turned up. Then I started seeing this Leroy posting quite a few bits on Facebook, and then all of a sudden, he decided he was selling up. He got this, a GT race bike, box frame, a white S&M Homes. I think he's still trying to sell those now.
Right.
And I had the choice between this one and another one. And this one had a load of extra bits. Now, Hibbs has made the stem for us.
Ah, we're going to ask you about that.
Mate, his eye's unbelievable.
Isn't it just?
Right.
Yeah,
He made this without a drawing, right? We've since...
Just some pictures.
We've since... Well, I think he made one for Tony Neal, and Tony gave him some approximate type of measurements.
Yeah.
Hibbs has gone and made it from his own eye, right? We measured it against Harry's.
And an OG.
Yeah, and it's within about 2 millimeters everywhere.
Right.
It is unbelievable.
A little bit bigger?
Tiny bit on the sides. Tiny bit on the sides. But, yeah, come with the flat bars. Provert forks. Primo cranks. 3-slot tenderizers. Vandal G-Sport on the front there.
Right,
That one. That is... And when I put it together, the back wheel wouldn't go round. And what had happened when, like, these had never been built. These never been ridden, these wheels. And it appears that when it was built, that one of the bearings wasn't quite
seated right.
And when you were trying to pedal it, it was going tight.
Right.
So I stripped it all down, put new bearings in it, and it's got the G-Sport rims on it.
What are those forks?
Odyssey vert forks.
Yeah, with the option of screwing the peg onto the leg.
Yeah, so flat bars, a Hibbs made invert stem. I put it on the other way around, didn't like it that way around. Again, gyro cover made by Andrew. That one I think looked wicked on the bike.
Yeah.
Head tube decal was missing, so before Stephen Dobson went, I got him to make me some head tube decals.
Pretty hard to come across the 2-hip decals, aren't
they? Well,
there's plenty of people doing copies.
Yeah, no,
OGs.
So we got those. Evolver brake, I think, or Evo 2 brake on that one, I think, remember rightly.
Is that just sort of a generic aluminium seat post?
Yeah, that is. Yeah. Shadow Conspiracy, I believe, saddle.
Yeah.
I don't actually know what the chain wheel is. It's very, very nice, but I don't actually know what that is.
S.
It's quite hard to figure out, isn't it?
That's a solid.
Is it really?
SOLI.
There you go.
D. I think it's sort of towards the end of Solid actually making bikes and things like that, but I'm pretty sure that's a solid. Obviously we can check the internet, and I'm sure there'll be a few people watching that'll be able to pin that one on. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a solid.
It's a very nice bike.
Yeah, so this is the 6061 aluminium.
Aluminium.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Aluminium. It's quite light.
They are a friend of mine who rode war pigs religiously when his last war pig got stolen, that had been welded numerous times. He picked up an aluminium pork and rode that, and I might have mentioned him before on previous episodes. He was like 9 stone wet through, but he shredded absolutely anything in front of him. And we called him Canny Kid because he was just canny at everything.
There were always those kids at school, weren't there? Whatever they did.
Adam Watson, and absolutely ripped on the aluminium one.
It does have the Odyssey clamp, which is quite hard to come by again.
Yeah, that size I would have thought so, yeah.
Again, 3-slot tenderizers, beautiful set of Primo cranks on this, very nice set. So then we're moving on to the jewels in the crown.
The Big Daddy.
Ramp Room Big Daddy, come from Paul Warren.
Paul Warren.
You've seen this one before.
Yeah, we were just framing forks back then, though, wasn't it?
You've seen this one before.
No stickers on.
Yeah, those are the Repop Hoffman stickers from Hoffman. Amazing. They cost me $15 or $20. So with the postage, they were about $27, and they were there within 2 days.
Who made them? Do you know?
No, they come from Hoffman.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
right,
it's
right.
his repop set. The only thing I had to do was cut off the made in Taiwan.
Fair enough, yeah.
The dates.
Oh, wait, when they did did they do a reissue?
Yeah. So they still have some of these sticker sets left.
Right. So, yeah, they're original, yeah.
So, Odyssey Evolve brake on it. I know it's a bit later, but as we said, the wheels are built straight laced. My first set of wheels
You built those?
Yeah, I built these. They're straight laced. Tasker free coaster that came with the EP, which I thought was quite nice to reuse. Girthy on the front, 10mm girthy. Big city lights. Primo cranks, as we discussed, 180s.
Yeah, graveyard sprocket.
Came with the genuine graveyard sprocket off Nick. Robinson two-piece seat clamp, which I really like.
Never seen one of those before.
Kaolin seat post. The seat came with the Morales. That was horrible camo, so I've recovered it, but I have got a 777 that I'm going to put on it that came off the Punisher. The Daysmith pegs I got a couple of weeks ago off Nick. He bought a bundle. He wanted a tyre, and with the tyre came a Daysmith pegs and some other pegs. He paid about €60 for them.
Pure aluminium, them, aren't they?
I was only actually after 2 because I'd got 2 on that.
Right.
But when he came with them, I've actually mixed and matched and made what I think is a pretty good set for not a lot of money.
Yeah. So what were they Hoffman did?
Yeah, they're the Hoffman. They're Daysmith signature peg.
Because I think on Odyssey parts, I think, because he had the Bermuda tyre. I think
Bermuda tyre, yeah. There's a set.
Tyre.
There's a set I keep looking at on eBay, black with a red wall. I keep looking at them. Tech 77s, Boa, 10mm Boa. I had to drill the forks, which I hated doing.
What did you say these bars were?
They're graveyard TIs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, graveyard TIs there.
Look how tiny that redneck is. Short, I mean.
Yeah, that's an original OG.
Bloody hell.
Yeah,
you've done well there.
So this is the latest build. We'll get this out.
So,
in
the spirit of Midschool, it's undergone a paint job.
Now this was, I'm sure most people have seen the pictures, this was green, very rusty. It had been kind of coated with some kind of oil to preserve it. It was horrible.
Are there any pictures online?
Yeah, I've got some pictures. So, yeah, this isn't the wheel set that's going to stay on it. This is a set I had off Nick, originally for the Sabbath.
The wheels almost match.
Yeah, I've got a set of fishbone blowfish, free coaster 14mm.
Oh,
I've had the front slotted to 10mm for the forks, for the hibs. And I've got a brand new old stock set of chrome hula hoops for it. The wife painted this one. This is candy pink.
Bit of an artist, your missus, isn't she?
Yeah, I mean there are a few bits of lacquer that that we're not
little
totally no, just like a bit of lacquer. I've got to give it another polish, see if we can totally clean it up. But it's pretty good. She put the metal flake onto the base layer by hand
while it was still damp.
Because we tried it on her compressor and it wouldn't quite come through the spray thing. So she put it on the same way she did that. Literally blew it on.
What, in the hand hairdryer job?
Off a piece of paper. So the cranks Profile SS came from Nick. They were on a War Pig he bought, and Tony Neil has had the War Pig. I had the cranks. Then the wheels came from Nick. The Harrow tyres came from Paul Warren.
Yeah.
Then
what are those 2s or 3s?
2s, 2 125s. So they're a good size for the BTS, I think. The pedal, so the core bars, Nick amazingly found me.
There's nothing you cannot find.
I shouldn't say this because but he done me a solid on these bars. He really did.
Yeah.
He went and bought a couple of Morales, and the guy happened to say, "Oh, I've got some other stuff." Pulled out these bars. Knew I was originally looking for some badass bars or something from Fishbone to go with the hubs. They're similar sort of crazy style.
Yes, they are.
Because everyone puts core bars on a BTS, but he came up with them and they're mint. And then somebody happened to put up a Love Goat stem, and
Ta-da!
so I went and seen the guy, and I came out of there with the Love Goat stem, the pedals, the seat, and the silencer copies, which are Ali, which I think, like, they're exact copies.
Yes.
These are a more industrial copy, and I think they suit the bike pretty perfectly.
Yeah, definitely.
I come out with a 990 off him and a Viking seat clamp, which is on the gap there. Yeah, no, it's a weighty build. Stub nose GT saddle.
That Love Goat stem is clean, isn't it?
Oh, it's proper. Yeah, it's got the original bolts definitely on the underside, because everyone's, you sure it's not Pegasus? But I've compared genuine ones, definitely has the original stem bolts in. And Pegasus normally make a slight change. I think originally, he'd done a few bits that were exact and people got a little bit upset. And he now changes, so the sprockets, where graveyard, this is made in graveyard in a curve, and then it has the graveyard 42, whatever size in a curve. Pegasus put theirs straight, so you can tell the difference. I haven't actually found out what the difference is with the Love Goat stem. I have tried to message Pegasus to ask them, but like the LG looks ever so slightly different on the OG compared to the Pegasus ones that I've seen. Nice piece on this, Hibbs made Morales hanger.
Yes, I remember you telling me about this.
The man's a genius. The man is a genius.
So that's a one-off then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nobody else.
No, he can't. No.
Oh, did Morales make them?
The original Gen 1, right, had that. Now, I've found this one, and another guy has recently messaged me about one, and our bikes are within 20 of each other. Now, obviously, you know the story with the poverty bikes.
Yes.
The poverty bikes was with the Gen 2.
Yeah.
Right. Poverty bikes didn't have any cable hangers because they split. This was a Gen 1 thing, but the poverty bikes didn't have the gyro tabs, didn't have any hangers, and it wasn't drilled, and obviously it was the Gen 2, so it didn't have the peg bosses. But this one and the other one that we've just been looking at didn't have the hanger or the gyro tabs. So I've had to fit gyro tabs to it, and Hibbs made, I got him a photo, and a guy from America happened to be an engineer and had one, drew it again, sent Hibbs the measurements. Yeah. He didn't need the measurements, mate. He could. I should have just said crack on him, make it, mate, because they were pretty accurate.
That's a neat touch, and they're riveted or is it bonded?
No. I had to drill the frame, but
right.
With the vans I use for work, I'm quite used to drilling brand new vehicles. It was a bit awkward drilling that one there with the drill, I have to say.
You made the decals?
Yeah, I made the decals on the Weiss Cry cut. I designed them slightly different, similar but different.
Yes.
Put the Better Insects moniker.
They're cool, them.
Stickers on. But yeah, it looks pretty cool in the sunlight. It's a nice bike, this one.
So, Hoffman Punisher, tell me about this.
So, I always wanted one of these.
Yeah, obviously.
The bike that never was. Jay Miron's
a mythical beast.
Jay Miron's signature bike. I've been saying to Nick, I'm going to have a Punisher made this year, Nick. And so the story goes, Patrick Banks from Limit Fabrications, 2015, 16, 17, made himself a modern day Punisher. That's stickered up, I believe, yellow and red.
Right.
It's a little bit more of a modern take, modern geometry.
Right.
In the meantime, some of the Hoffman collectors had obviously had the same thoughts I did. Steve Jones, who's a TV, some sort of TV executive producer type guy,
Right.
got some lovely Hoffman bikes. Had this one made, and I believe there's another one. I think he made two. I think one's in Switzerland or somewhere like that. I may be wrong, but that's, I think, how the story goes.
Made by Pat Banks.
Made by Pat Banks. Chris Gack, who I've actually spoken to about this bike, helped him to make it. The bottle opener is from the exact. He still has the exact piece of metal that he used as a template. I've got photos of it. That was used to make that. He said his memory was unbelievable. He knew all the measurements and produced this, which I think is pretty special.
So what we're saying, there's about 3 in the world?
There's the original, which is in a collection in America. And there's two, there's 2 more. Obviously Condor, purple Condor stickers. It is built almost exact. It's currently missing some GAC hubs, which I'm working on at the moment. OG GAC hubs it should have on it. The grind disc, it originally came with the more modern grind disc sticker.
Right, yeah.
So I got a guy to scan his original grind disc for me.
Yeah.
With the stickers on. So I've made that. I remade that, and I messaged Albies. They couldn't get me one, so we've remade that from the photograph of the original bike, which isn't very good. There is a sticker missing off the top tube of some kind of skeleton. We've tried blowing up every picture we can find of Miron riding the bike in the Hoffman guise, because of course it didn't stay in the Hoffman guise for very long, because he took the bike with him to Schwinn.
Yeah.
Sticking it up as a Schwinn. It's still now got the Schwinn
until
head
they made
tube
his
decal. Until they made his bikes, which I believe they copied a lot of the Punisher geometry, and the top tube squashing is quite so it has profile cranks, DX pedals, the original OG DX pedals, KHE grind disc. It will soon have profile. It should have had a profile ripsaw sprocket, which has been drilled for a grind disc.
Right.
That's what Jay Miron rode.
Yeah.
So I need to get hold of.
Currently, it's just a generic
one.
Spider.
It's just a generic one, but Ben Wigley has us a silver one. I've got to try and either paint it or have it something done with it. So it come to me pretty well sorted. Changed the saddle. It had a 777 saddle. He would have rode the Odyssey Cobra. That literally came Saturday. Nick was going to swap me the 777, but in the meantime he's bought the big boy, which came with the 777. So he said, just again, he's done me a solid. He's done me a few solids. I didn't pay a lot for that saddle.
Nice.
I believe it's either a Hibbs or Pegasus stem. It's not an original big block stem.
It's you can see it's pretty bloody new.
The stem's new. It is Gen 3 ramp room forks, ramp room Patriots. The grips, these grips I've put on. It originally had the Jive tentacles, which were on the BTS,
right? Which
I've took off and put the Amy Tries, which is he would have rode. It also had the silver Tech 77s on it.
Yes.
And he wouldn't have had the silver ones. He would have had the black ones.
Silver, yeah.
So like everybody, I saw the Hoffman flyer in 95, 96, saying about the new Taj and this bike, and everybody wanted the bike with the beer bottle over.
I never made it.
And never made it. So I feel very privileged.
Absolutely.
To own this bike.
That's a beast.
I actually rode it. I rode it in Cardiff a few weeks. I've got to reset the chain. The chain's so close to the frame.
Yes.
So I've got to put some spacers in it.
Remove spacers.
Yeah, perhaps remove some.
I mean you've got loads of space on that side.
There's quite a few.
Yeah,
so
you can take some out there. Definitely.
It wants a bit of a play around.
Yeah.
I believe Graham Steele actually built the bike, or helped to build the bike. It should have the useless brake plate I'm trying to look for.
Right.
It would have had a useless one on there. You know, like they're more, they made it like kind of box, small box section.
Yeah.
If I can't find one, I'll have one made, because
It's not going to be difficult, is it?
nah. But the hubs, if I can't find any hubs, I will be having some hubs made. Because we have drawings.
Well, what hubs were they?
GAC, OG GACs.
Of course
I will not be breaking this wheel set. I will need another set of Super Pro rims, or some HPs that I can have chrome plated, because I will not be breaking that. I mean,
would you go to that length? Have some rims chrome plated?
Yeah. For that bike, I will. Yeah. I'm going to move that, so if Jason comes out, he doesn't go flying.
So, as a little J pointed out,
Condor.
Condor.
Come from Wonder Mick.
All right, yeah. He's now in France, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. It has a broken lug, so that's been drilled and tapped. So what I'm going to do is knock that one off, I think, and tap.
And have a new one.
Yeah, gonna have that.
Leroy to do that.
Yeah. I think I'm going to do, I think I'm just going to lock that off myself, and I'm going to drill and tap it. Put another.
All right. Yeah.
I'm not going to get precious about it. It's a Taiwan frame. It is what it is. It's tidy. The powder coat on it's tidy, so I don't really want to start welding it.
Well, once a brake is on it, I suppose it's going to have a 44 chainring into it. I was going to say once a brake's on it.
I think
I'll
cut that down, so that's pretty much flush. So it's only going to be that tiny bit more higher than it would have been originally. It's got the Big Daddy forks off the Big Daddy. They're Taiwan Big Daddy forks, I believe. The only thing really, it needs those forks. Those are Taj forks. They're actually, believe it or not, they're baby blue Taj forks. If you take the forks apart, you can still see remnants of the blue blue underneath. I'm told.
Well,
that came from Nick. He says they are baby.
Oh, there, look inside the dropout.
There you go, baby blue Taj forks. It's a 95, I believe.
Yeah, original
Mac
10mm dropouts.
Yeah.
My friend had one. Broke it in several places, more or less at once. It's a cool frame.
Really
cool frame. Yeah.
Not many in the UK. Some wheels due for that. They should have been here by now from Paul, but the postman seems to be a bit slow at the moment. Although my postman is kept very busy.
That's really tidy. I mean,
the frame's tidy. It's tidy. That come from Nick. You might have seen him punching it around. I went.
So, 2 GACs, very recent acquisitions of these, aren't they?
Yeah, Paul Shriver. He put them up. I'd seen them up for sale on eBay for a while. My sort of bikes. They're Gen 2 GAC Cannibals. On the Gen 1, the down tube is very much like the BTS, comes underneath the bottom bracket. Yeah, on the Gen. I'd really like a Gen 1. They come in a great green.
I didn't realise that there was more than one Gen of
there is definitely a two Cannibal. I mean, look at the size of this.
Yeah. And then they've machined the seat tube by a mill.
Yeah, correct. I mean, it's crazy. Like I say, I have actually spoke to Chris, and he's got a few bits still laying around. So
he sent me a wad of Cannibal, Gargoyle, GAC USA, GACBMX.com stickers.
Yeah.
An absolute wad of them when I told him I was looking for a GAC Gargoyle. And if I found one, it'd be getting restored. An absolute wad. Yeah. I've seen people who've obviously done the same, and he sent them a wad, trying to sell them on eBay for ridiculous money. Yeah. It's like, you're taking the piss. He gave you them.
Yeah.
Like, be real.
He's a really nice bloke, Chris. He really is. So yeah, hopefully I might grab a few bits.
It's not as heavy in the hand as I anticipated.
The 24-inch is a different animal. They aren't the original GAC forks. They are just some generic forks. The 24-inch does have the GAC forks.
What are these then?
We don't know. I don't know. They're just some generic forks that came with it. So we don't actually. But they're not
crap.
No.
That
They're
steer tube's welded in there.
They're well made. So whatever they've come on, they're pretty.
We got any takers on those forks?
Yeah, they're pretty serious set of forks to go with a pretty serious.
Yeah, that cable stop is OTT.
Proper OTT, and I think the one on that 24 inch is even bigger. But this, we think it is totally new old stock. We think that is how it came from the factory. It still has on the 990s. Has from the
powder coated shop.
At the moment, she's got a GT piston stem on it with some Taiwan low drags, which I've bought some solid bars. Well, in fact, I got Paul this t-shirt sent, and he said you can have the solid bars for getting us that. The solid bars are very small, so I thought that'd be ideal. In the meantime, Chris had been saying, I got these low drags, I've managed to see Chris, picked up the low drag.
I'm going to have to put this down.
And stuck them on there, and I think they are perfect size for a 24 inch.
And there we have it, another collection in the bag, and what a heavyweight collection it is. Apart from the Schwinn and the Taj, each and every bike was hernia-inducing in weight, and left me scratching my head about how we used to hustle these bikes around back in the day. Thanks for having me around, Jay. In episode 14, I'm visiting Hoffman Barnet in Lincolnshire here in the UK to check out his collection. Can you guess the theme? So there's one to look forward to in the next month or so. In the meantime, thanks again to the Rhodians for the music, and please do check them out on YouTube, Spotify and Bandcamp. And if you're in the southwest UK, there'll be opportunities to check them out live. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and all that jazz, and we'll see you next time.